Keep our hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times so that we remain fully seated throughout our entire journey today, even when we're stopped. Take a look above your head. There's an animal spotting guide. Use that guide to help me spot some animals out here on the reserve. And I can't promise that we're going to see all of them, but we usually have some pretty good luck. We're going to be entering in the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. The Harambe means come together. So we're going to see how these animals live and exist together in their environment. So our first stop is going to be here in the Little Ituri Forest. Animals in here, they tend to be shy and they're really good at using camouflage. We'll keep a sharp eye out for them. The bongos there on the left-hand side, a little bit past the bongo on the left, those are greater kudu, and then the okapi's kind of hidden back there on that right-hand side as well. Kudu, or should be on the right-hand side, kind of behind the bamboo. Bongos have a nickname of the ghost of the forest because of how rare they are to spot in the wild, and their horns angle backwards, helping them get through thick vegetation and underbrush very quickly. Saddlebow storks are in the middle, they're on the left. Saddlebow storks get their name from the little yellow patch that's on their beak. It's shaped like a saddle. Those birds are 5 feet tall with a wingspan of 9 feet. About the same width of the canopy, that's above your head. Greater kudus there are one of the tallest antelopes in Africa, the second tallest antelope out here on the reserve. They stand at 55 inches tall at their shoulder and they can leap about 8 feet forward. The okapi was back there on that right hand side. The okapis have stripes in their legs to make them look like they're related to the zebra, but they're not. They're actually related to the giraffe. They have long prehensile tongues that they use to grab vegetation off those trees, sort of like how we use our fingers to grab food. Their gestation period is about 14 months, and mothers are able to communicate with their young using infrasonic communication, something humans aren't able to hear, which is pretty neat. On the left-hand side here, that is the black rhino.
Oh my god, I didn't see that.
Wait, where? Oh!
That's not what it looked like. Look at that thing. Yeah, but now next week there are pictures now.
The black rhinos are the smallest rhino in Africa. They weigh in at about 3,000 pounds. Now rhinos are poached trying for their horns. Some people believe that they have medicinal value. They do not. Their horns are not valuable at all. They're made of keratin. That's the same thing that our fingernails are made of. We're going to be heading out of the Little Ituri Forest, but we are on our way to the Safi River. The animals in this area like to hang out in and around the water. Pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans, they get their name from the pink skin that occurs on their back during mating season. Those birds are colonial nesters. They'll nest between 20 and 500 pairs. That's a group of 40 to 1,000 pink-backed pelicans. Hippopotamus is also there on that right-hand side. Sometimes we're able to find some more hippos that are a little bit easier to see. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. Your hippos is called a belote on that left-hand side. And they spend most of their time submerged in that water to avoid overheating, which they will come out to graze. And they can stay submerged in that water up to 8 minutes at a time. Instead of swimming through the water, hippos actually walk or run along the bottom of the riverbank, helps them kind of glide through that water right there. Now, one of the ways you can help out your waterways is by checking your sunscreen to see if it's reef safe. Another way is just being aware of how much water they're using and conserving when possible. Lots of hippos there on the left. And then up ahead here on the right, we're going to find some Nile crocodiles. So these roads are pretty bumpy, so just make sure that we are staying in our seats. But they're on that left-hand side, kind of in the water area. Just make sure we are fully seated. Sitting, they can go months without eating if food is scarce. hoping that we'll be able to spot some today, but as we're heading out here, we get a pretty good chance to use an animal spotting guide. There's lots of wide open spaces. As we're entering in the Savannah is shaped by the animals that live here. They all kind of play their part. So one of these trees that we're going to see are going to be pruned underneath to about the same height. And that's about as far as a giraffe can reach. They like to keep the vegetation on these trees all around this area. A lot of beside giraffes there on the right. On the right hand side there are some Hartman's mountain zebras over here as well. Maybe these zebras here, but that was called Dazzle. The Hartman's mountain zebras are the only type of zebra with a dewlap. That's an extra pop of skin right underneath their neck that helps aid in blood circulation, that helps keep them cool on hot days. Their gestation period is about a year. Babies are able to imprint or memorize their mom's stripe pattern. That's like a tell and promise. Over here on the left, we're going to find some African painted dogs. So let's have to scoot past this rock to get a better view, but we're going to scoot up just a little bit here. They're going to be in the den. African painted dogs get their name from their fur pattern. It looks like they have paint on them. It's unique to each animal, and that's how they identify each other. But they are one of Africa's most successful hunters. They do so well because they communicate with each other. And each pack's up by a dominant male and a dominant female. On the left in the corner there, those are sable antelope. Sable antelope are very special because they're the symbol of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Because of how courageous they are, in a choice between fight or flight, they will choose to fight. This is why we should fight to protect these animals and the environments that they live in. And their horns angle backwards, deterring animals like lions from jumping on their backs. They use them to protect themselves. So these are Ankole cattle. Oh, they just crossed the road there on that left-hand side. The Ankole cattle are the only domestic cattle breed that we're going to find out here on the reserve. They're in the bovine family, same family as buffalo and bison. Each of their horns is about 3 to 4 feet in length. It's built inside with a honeycomb-like structure that allows for blood circulation, helps keep them cool on hot days. Now behind here, we're going to see some springbok. They're on the right. Springbok antelope are the smallest antelope out here on the reserve. Although they're small, they can jump 6 feet straight up into the air repeatedly, about 13 feet forward. They're a symbol of one of sports teams over in South Africa. There's a few there of those zebras on the right. And then around the corner here, we're going to see the eland. Eland's going to be up on the left-hand side of the road, kind of on that hill there. They're grazing. Elands are the largest antelope out here on the reserve. At their shoulder, they stand at 6 feet tall. They weigh around 2,000 pounds. And as elands walk, their tendons will slip over their joints and emits a clicking sound. That sounds to let other elands know that they're in the area. Although elands weigh 2,000 pounds, they can still jump 6 feet straight up into the air. On the right-hand side, those are wildebeest. The name wildebeest means wild beast in Afrikaans. They'll travel in groups of 1.5 million, going about 500 to 1,000 miles every year. They travel the distance between New York and Orlando. Now, about 80 to 90% of that wildebeest population is born between the same 2 to 3 week period. They're pretty impressive animals. They can run about 15 minutes after they're born. Now, the Maasai giraffe here on that right-hand side. Maasai giraffes, they have an irregular coat pattern. They don't have those clean lines around their spots like the reticulated giraffe that's on their animal spotting guide. They get about 16 to 20 feet tall when they're adults. So when they're born around 6 feet tall. They have about a 6 foot drop the moment that they're born. Now, just like the okapis, they have those long branch-out tongues that they use to grab vegetation off those trees. Again, sort of like how we use our fingers for their food. And they have the same number of vertebrae in their neck as we do in ours. There's just fingers. Both have 7 vertebrae. females and their young will hang out in large groups together, and the males will form a loose patch to their group, or sometimes they'll kind of hang out on their own. Now, one of the ways you know about elephants is by avoiding purchasing ivory. That's what their tusks are made out of, and that's one of the reasons why they're poached or hunted. You'd also be helping out the Nile hippopotamus. Those are poached for their ivory as well. But sometimes we can find a herd of elephants up ahead, so I'm hoping that that's the case today. One of the ways these elephants can stay cool is by flapping those ears. It runs air over the blood vessels that are dispersed all throughout their ears and cool them down up to several degrees. Crossing over a bumpy bridge here, we're going to continue our journey to the Morocco Waffle Desert. Baobab trees here. Baobab trees survive by storing water in their trunk, almost like a sponge. They stay leafless about 9 months out of the year. The baobab trees have a few different nicknames. One is the upside down tree, and the other one you might be familiar with is the tree of life. I'm gonna get a pretty good view of the elephants around the corner here. Another tractor on the right.
Wait, where's the baby? Oh my gosh. It's so cool.
They're coming up here in a group of flamingos. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyant. We're going to say that flamboyant of flamingos. Now, this particular species is the greater flamingo, and they're the lightest colored flamingo in their family. They get their color from the branch of the fade, and over time it turns their feathers pink. It takes about 1 to 2 years to get the full pink coloring. When they're born, they're born gray and fluffy.
Go the other way. Sideways.
Hold it up higher.
easier on the environment, and they're very cute.
No.
And their milk is considered high value, so selling that milk helps take away the need to rely on vomit. So we got some really cool animals today. If you'd like to learn some more information, you can check out DisneyAnimals.com or National Geographic is a really good resource. Some ways to help out these animals at home include volunteering at your local nature center or conservation organization, or even running a local beach or river cleanup. Some more simple ways to help out at home include turning off the water while you brush your teeth or using reusable water bottles. Those small changes add up to make a big difference. And here on the reserve, we like to say goodbye, because goodbyes are far too sad and far too final. So we'll leave you with the Swahili word kwaherini, and kwaherini means to go well, with the intentions of seeing each other again one day. So kwaherini, my friends. Another word that we say here on the reserve is Asante-sana. And again, that means thank you. So thank you so much for joining me here. I'll be dropping off right around the bend. Go ahead and double check for your personal belongings. I don't want to anything here on my truck. If you want to check back to Africa, and you want to explore or more, you've been riding the simple one. Simpa1. If you want to see some more animals, while you're here in Africa, head over to Gorilla Falls. It's going to be a self-guided exploration trail with some different animals and what you might spot over here. So you can see some okapis, they can mole rat, meerkats, rabbit zebras. There's a gorilla sanctuary and an underwater hippo viewing area. That trail closes at 6 o'clock, and it's both wheelchair and